to this channel where we spread love and positive vibes. Allow me to first thank our new subscribers and our returning subscribers. We value you. We appreciate you so much. I salute you. Thanks so much. Thank you so much. You are the reason we sit here and shoot these videos every day. Today's video is full of the craziest, the most crazy story I've ever had on the track. It is funny. It is so inspiring, sort of. And I really loved as I watched these sportsmen. What am I talking about? I'm talking about Usain Bolt and Waris, Spearman, and Guthrie. These are track short distance runners, and they used to compete those days before Usain Bolt retired. And I was watching their video, and I was watching at Usain Bolt competing with Waris and competing with Guthrie. And I really loved at how they handle these competitions. They are full of joy, they are full of fun, they are full of humor, especially Usain Bolt. And that is what I'm going to talk about today. The craziest story on the track. And I'm also going to mention Usain Bolt as a comedian on the track. You know, I never knew Usain Bolt as a comedian. I just knew him as a very good runner, the fastest person in the world, the GOAT itself. But today, as I watched the video, I could not believe that this is the same man that has kept a record that has not been broken by anyone. Actually, I watched Usain Bolt interview in, what is the name of that channel? The Great Performance channel. And he was talking about his story from the time he started running when he was 15 to when he retired. And at the end of this video, I'm also going to capture that story, and we are going to see how Usain Bolt resisted laziness and sleeping to be the greatest man to be celebrated all over the world because of a record he kept that has not been broken by anyone. But before we go to that, guys, let us listen at Usain Bolt, the comedian on the track. It was so funny, so epic, so entertaining. I could not stop laughing. First of all, I want you to watch this video as Usain Bolt was competing with Waris Spearman. I believe that Waris is the same as Spearman, but kindly tell me if I'm wrong. But I believe that Spearman is the same as Waris. So, kindly watch this video where Usain Bolt is actually competing with Waris, and then you watch this video whereby Usain Bolt is competing with Guthrie. These are some of the rivals that Usain Bolt had on the track. But I was surprised, behind the scenes, these great track runners were actually friends, and they shared their moment on the track, the fun part of the moment on the track, and the comedy part of the moment on the track, and that is what we are going to share today. But before I come to that, kindly watch the video.
You know, so I watch that and I see what Bolt's about, and I'm like, all right, okay. Shout out to this man. And then when he does it to you, you're like, hold on, wait a minute. Hold on, I remember in Zurich, we ran a 4x1. I get the stick first, I'm on ankle leg. He hands me the stick, 3 to 6 meters up. I don't know what it really was. I'm exaggerating on the low end. And Bolt catches me, but literally, I'm like, in the whole 4x1, I can hear him. He's like, all right, Wallace, I'm coming. Okay, get your knees up.
Why you running?
While we're running the race. Mother, I'm a curse this time for real. You motherfucker, you. So we're running. Get your knees up. Look good. Okay, I'm coming. All right. Look left. Look up. Here I am. All right, dip of the line. I got you. All right, great job.
Oh, you crazy for that. You crazy.
And we crossed the line, and literally all you do is you see me walk up to him, and I get real close, and I was like, don't you ever do that bullshit again, bro. What's wrong with you, man? And he's like, you know what time it is. He's like, what you gonna do to them boys? He said, I ain't got no friends out here. Forget all these boys. And Bolt looks at me, he grabs me by my jersey, which is pretty tight. You know how uniforms are? And he's like, if you don't beat him right now, he's like, I swear to God, we're not friends. And I was like, you in the race too? He's like, I'm tired. And I swear to you, if you go back and watch that race, I never ran a damn turn so hard in my life. I ran 1988, I beat X. Bolt got like 4th. Xavier got 2nd. And when I locked up in the last 50, I don't ever lock up in races. But I ran a turn so hard, I locked up. I'm trying to do a victory lap. My butt's all tight. I'm wobbling. I'm waving like this. I'm throwing the flowers. I didn't even make it to the damn stands. But that man X was a bad man, bro. He was a bad man. He ran 10-0, 40, like 43, and 19.6 in 1 week. And within the 7-day span.
Guys, I'm sure you have watched the video, and let me ask you a question. According to the video of Usain Bolt and Waris, what do you think Usain Bolt is telling Waris? Because this guy is epic. He's running the fastest the fastest track event in the world, and at the same time he has the energy to communicate, and the energy to make fun, and the energy to laugh. It is so amazing. So kindly, can you guess what Usain Bolt is telling Waris? When I actually went through what Usain Bolt was telling Waris, I laughed and laughed and laughed. But before we go to that, let us analyze what was happening in these track events. One, I had not known that Usain Bolt is such a comedian on the track. First of all, when I was watching his interview with, I think the channel is called The Great Performance, I heard him say that whenever he finishes a race and wins, he either dances or actually shouts or beats his chest or something. And at one time, one of the people they were competing with asked him, why do you do this? And it is so disrespecting. And I wondered, what is disrespecting with celebrations of a race that you have worked so hard? Because I remember Usain Bolt reiterated or said that you practice or you work hard for 4 years and you're going to run for 9 minutes. 9 seconds, not even minutes, 9 seconds. And therefore, this guy has been practicing for 4 years and he wins the race. The celebration comes automatically, like he actually answered. So Usain Bolt was saying, that guy asked him, why do you disrespect others by celebrating after completing the race when we are here? In other words, why do you rejoice? Why do you start dancing, break dancing, and doing all sorts of things after completing the race? And Usain Bolt actually perplexed me and made me astonished by his answer. Instead of answering this guy, he actually went to the people they were competing with, the ones he knew, and asked them whether they felt disrespected by what he was doing. And they responded and said they did not feel disrespected because even then, if they were in that situation of winning a race, they would celebrate the same way. And it was so epic and so funny. And therefore, the fact that Usain Bolt took his time to actually consult the other competitors, it means that he was concerned not to disrespect people, and he was also concerned about the feeling of others, and he was also concerned to make the others feel comfortable around him. And this is what we see in the part of this video where Usain Bolt is actually competing with Waris and Gatrin. And he does not take the race so seriously because he makes fun out of this race, and at the end of it all, when competitors. Actually, I saw that Usain Bolt are best of friends with Waris. And when you hear the way Waris is talking about Usain Bolt, you can see that these two are bandits. They are great friends. And therefore, to the people that are watching the race, they think that the people who are competing are actually enemies. But we can see that Usain Bolt is very, very respectful to the people he's competing with. He's very, very humble to the people he's competing with. He wants them to feel comfortable, to feel free, not to feel disrespected. And that is why he took the time to actually go around and ask the people they were competing with whether they felt disrespected or they felt it was not all right for him to celebrate the way he did. And therefore, as I was going through this video of Usain Bolt and Waris, actually Waris narrating their experience on the field and what Usain Bolt was telling him, it was very, very funny. It was very, very comedian of Usain Bolt. Bolt created fun and excitement on the track. Can you imagine such a serious race whereby you are competing? You are actually against your opponents, but to Bolt, the opponents are actually his brothers and they are his friends, and that is why it was fun, it was excitement on the track. Actually, during his interview, he actually said when the coach was training him to run these races, he told him, before you run to win, you must run to lose. You must run to lose for you to run to win. That means you must be comfortable with losing and you run your lessons from losing and you take the next step after losing, but not feeling down, feeling depressed, feeling hating the people who have actually beaten you on the race. And therefore this attitude and taking the words of the coach that before you run to win, you must run to lose. You must be comfortable with losing and you run from losing, you take a step from losing and you plan to win from your failure. That was a very great insight from Bolt. And I think that is why even when he competes with his opponents, he will not treat them like enemies because it is just a race after all. And the one who wins today might not be the one who wins tomorrow, though Bolt has kept a very high record for them. But he's comfortable to associate, to be friendly with his opponents. Imagine Bolt having the energy. Let us come back to the video, guys. Imagine Bolt having the energy to actually talk on that race when he's running very, very fast and at the same time he's talking. Don't you think that is plenty crazy? Very, very crazy. He is talking, instead of accumulating the energy to complete the race, he was actually talking to Waris. You know, most of the long distance runners, they actually accumulate all the energy to sprint at the end of the race so that you can win. But to Bolt, he's actually so comfortable, smiling, communicating to Waris, having a good time, enjoying the sport, and feeling good. And this is all about professional competition. You are not down even if you don't win. You can make jokes on the track. You can actually talk as you run. But this was epic because most of the competitors actually don't talk when they are running because running is draining. It uses a lot of energy. And by the time you come to complete the race, you are so tired that talking is very, very hard. But to Bolt, it was so easy to talk to Waris, to joke with Waris, and to complete the race and to emerge the winner. It was so epic. The smile of Bolt at the finishing line also was something to me. Not just talking to Waris, not making fun, not creating comedy on the track, but the smile on his face as he completed the race, it's like someone who has not actually covered the 200 or 100 meters or 400 meters. It's like somebody who has not actually gone through the race. He was smiling, full of happiness, and making joke with Waris. I will tell you what he was telling Waris, but let me complete analyzing the video we have just seen, and then I'll come to the words he was telling Waris. And you'll feel it was quite fun. It was very fun. By the way, guys, Jamaicans in the house, are you that funny? That you are competing in such a serious race, you are actually at the end of the finishing line and you're making jokes. You are making the whole thing look funny. The whole thing look joyous. The whole thing look simple. I loved that. I really loved that. And I think this is a characteristic of Jamaican people. They are joyous, they are full of humor, they are happy. Because I could not believe this guy has actually covered all those meters and he's smiling, making fun, making jokes. It's epic. So, we are still on the analyzing of the video and what we see happening on the track. It's a man who has put a lot of work. Actually, he had put a lot of work. Like I have said, he actually said he practices for 4 years and he has to go to practice every day. Because in his story, he actually talked about the coach when he ran and he got a silver medal. And the coach told him, it means you have not practiced enough because you are not yet at gold. And it means that he could miss some of the days to practice and some of the days to go to the gym, and he could miss some things in the whole training to run. And therefore the coach told him, you have to put hard work, you have to be committed, you have to sacrifice. And that is what he did, and in the long run, he got a gold medal. So this guy has put a lot of work in his career of track events, put a lot of time, and he has sacrificed himself and with a lot of determination done a lot to be where he is. And therefore, he has gotten acclimatized to the field and he has gotten used to the field, and maybe that is why he was smiling at the finishing line, because this is something he's already used to. I remember he was saying in the first few years of his career as a track runner, he actually lost a lot because he was young. Remember that Usain started running when he was 15 years, and therefore he did not understand that this is competition. You are supposed to run, you are supposed to commit yourself, and so on. And therefore, he has grown over the time and he could be able to practice a lot and actually win the race and win a lot of gold medals and feel proud and feel good of himself, and that is why he could celebrate at the end of every finishing line. And let us look at the words that Usain Bolt was telling Waris as they were on the completing or on the finishing line. So, according to this video and according to Waris, as he was running very fast to approach the finishing line, he hears the voice of Usain Bolt, and he tells him, I'm catching up with you. And he could tell him, get your knees up. This is people who are competing. They are actually on the finishing line. And Bolt is telling Waris, I'm catching you. And he could tell him, get your knees up, look good, look left, look up, here I am. So it was Usain Bolt telling Waris that get your knees up, look good, look left, look up, here I am. Deep in the line. Okay, here I am, deep in the line. I got you, good job. And that is when Usain Bolt actually passed Waris and emerged the winner of the race. Guys, what do you think was going on in Usain Bolt's head? As he was on the finishing line, he's not concentrating on emerging, number one. He's actually talking to Waris, sort of coaching him, sort of training him, and he's telling him, God, get your knees up, rook good, rook left, rook up here. I am deep in the line, and I've got you, good job. And Waris was like, what is this? What is wrong with this guy? I'm trying to finish the fast, and he's here talking to me, sort of, I don't know whether you can call it teasing me. It was very, very epic, and as Waris was sharing it, he was actually laughing, meaning that he was entertained. He was actually, it was fun for Usain Bolt to talk to him at the finishing line, and Usain Bolt emerged the winner. And I was wondering, was Usain Bolt serious all throughout that race? Was he actually waiting for Waris to approach the finishing line so that he can overtake him? Was he actually giving him time for Waris to look like he's going to win, and then come and whisper to him, and then cross him and go and finish the fast? But these are buddies, they are friends, and therefore anything could have happened on the track, and maybe Usain Bolt wanted this guy to feel good, that he wanted to motivate him, because Waris emerged the second after Usain Bolt. So it was very, very funny to see Usain Bolt communicating to Waris in the field. And I remember Gatrin was talking the same thing about Usain Bolt as he was approaching the finishing line, and how he finishes the race. I think they did not expect it. And they just see the guy emerge the winner, and he was behind them. And that is why Usain Bolt was telling this guy, look left, look up, here I am. Deep in the line. I got you. Good job. So he was actually sort of celebrating Waris by telling him, you have done a good job, you have tried your best, because they remember that this is the fastest man in the world, and Waris has emerged almost the winner of this race. So Usain Bolt is telling Waris, good job. You have done it so well to compete with me and almost defeat me, but I remain the GOAT. He's telling him I remain the GOAT. So guys, let us still continue with this conversation between Usain Bolt and Waris. And I am still asking you, what do you think this guy was? Actually, I've told you what Usain Bolt was telling Waris. And I want to ask you, can you imagine, or rather, what do you think about Usain Bolt running such a fast race and at the same time talking? What is your take on this? Because I found it very, very bold step. Very, very courageous step. Because very, very few competitors can actually talk as they run. And Usain Bolt was talking as he was running. But Waris was making fun of it, and he was very, very happy as he was narrating this story in the video, and it is so epic. So let us go to Usain Bolt interview in the Great Performer channel. So according to the interview, Usain Bolt says that he started the race when he was 15, and he was actually competing in Jamaica, and all the Jamaicans knew him and they respected him as a person who is very, very fast. And therefore he started going to the Olympics, and actually it was challenging for him the first time he went to the Olympics, because of course he wanted to make Jamaica proud, and at the same time he wanted to win the race. And therefore there was a lot of pressure both at home and in the field, because of course you are competing with great competitors, great runners all over the world. And therefore you have to actually be prepared so that you can emerge the winner. And therefore he talked about having pressure from the Jamaican people themselves, because Jamaicans are very, very good at following what is happening on the track events, and they are actually ready to celebrate their athletes when they win the race. And therefore, this was pressure to Usain Bolt in his first race in the Olympics. But he says that after running several races, he became comfortable and he felt that I'm doing this for myself, not just for Jamaica, but for me and Jamaica at the same time. And this was a breakthrough for him because first of all, you have to love yourself so that you can show the country love. And that is when Usain Bolt broke all the odds to be the fastest man in the whole world. I love the maturity with Usain Bolt. As he was being interviewed, he could talk about Asafa and the way they were great runners and Johan Breaks. Both Asafa and Johan Breaks were actually runners, or the people who were running just before Usain Bolt became a runner. And he talks about them in a very, very positive way and praises them and talks about their strength when it comes to the field. When we look at Usain Bolt, he's a man who has achieved a lot when we come to the track and field events. He has emerged the best, fastest runner in the whole world, and he has set a record that no one has been able to break. Actually, according to people, they were actually saying this is Muhammad Ali on the track. Muhammad Ali on the track. He has defeated all the odds. Having come from a small village in Jamaica, he has jumped all the hurdles or barriers in life to emerge the fastest man in the world. And according to Usain, he says that he doesn't actually think that the record he set will be broken soon. And for sure, this is a record that is too high a bar for people to achieve. But I like the character of Usain Bolt, full of fun, full of humor, full of joy, competing in a very, very friendly way because he believes in respect, he believes in winning with dignity, winning with fairness. And therefore, I loved the Usain Bolt who was being talked about. I loved the Usain Bolt who was being talked about by Waris and Guthrie. Remember that these are people who have competed in the same field with Usain Bolt, and for them to stand and talk about Usain Bolt as a comedian, as a funny man, as a winner who has respect, who forms friendship with the people he is competing with, that was epic. That was a praise to him, and I really respected Usain Bolt for this. So Usain Bolt still remains the legend. He remains the GOAT. He remains the fastest man in the whole world. And through him, I have learned a lot about Jamaicans, the hard work with the people of Jamaica, the humor with the people of Jamaica, the respect to others, the fun bit in every activity you are doing. You should make it fun. You should enjoy it. You should have fun because it's not about the whole world. It's about a competition, and when you enjoy what you do, when you put your mind and handwork in what you do, you emerge the winner. So we salute the GOAT today as we celebrate him, as he's being celebrated by the friends who actually went to the field with him, and he emerged the winner. So to the Jamaicans in the house, salute for bringing up such a great man. See you during the next video. Bye-bye, and God bless.